Now, other user-generated content is also on the way. Mario vs. Donkey Kong is the franchise's third offering, but the first to let players design levels from the ground up. Not only will players have full control over where to set traps, enemies, and a host of power-ups in the construction zone, but they can also upload their creation to friends locally or via Nintendo Wi-Fi connection. Now, when the minis aren't marching through your own diabolical creations, they're navigating puzzles that harken back to the arcade debut of Mario and Donkey Kong. Now, as always, obstacles lie between the minis and their goal. But what are these obstacles? Well, now, that's mostly up to you. Mario vs. Donkey Kong, Minis March Again, is playable on the show floor and is available only as a download for Nintendo DSi via DSiWare beginning June 8th. That's right, this coming Monday. Now here's another title that puts the concept of user-generated content on center stage. WarioWare DIY, as in do-it-yourself, includes a feature for players to design their own games from scratch. Every element, the characters, the environment, the actions, even the purpose of the microgame itself is controlled entirely by the player. We believe this is as close to essential game design as any title has ever come. Now, the fundamentals here are simple, but the decision-making process, inventing the very nature of the challenge, makes this experience deeply compelling. And when your microgame is completed, you can share it with other WarioWare DIY owners. Now, after all, creating content is only half the fun. For example, no matter how goofy you make your best friend look with the new Nintendo DSi camera, the real satisfaction comes when you can show that image to everyone. And that's about to get a lot easier. Beginning this summer, you'll be able to automatically upload photos taken with your Nintendo DSi and share them with your friends on Facebook. Now, while millions of photos are uploaded to Facebook every day, the new Nintendo DSi, with its 10 editing lenses, makes it even more fun to personalize and share your photos with some of the 200 million users on Facebook. Now, while user-generated content is hot, we don't intend to get entirely carried away with it. After all, the great majority of Nintendo DS owners will spend the majority of their time enjoying what professional developers create for them. And perhaps no Nintendo DS creation is more eagerly anticipated than the new game Mr. Iwata disclosed earlier this spring, The Legend of Zelda: Spirit Tracks. But words can't do it justice. After all, playing is believing. I've played it, and so can you, on the show floor this week. Between new Nintendo DS games and new Nintendo DSi opportunity, there has never been so much going on for Nintendo portables. Stop by the Nintendo booth to test drive not only new games, but also new experiences. In our world, everyone's game. Now, please join me in welcoming the man who is leading Nintendo's efforts, explaining that there is a gamer inside everyone. our global president, Mr. Satoru Iwata.
Thank you, Cami, and good morning. When Nintendo first began talking about bringing millions or more people to video games, many thought that was impossible. But today, these things have come to be accepted. And as a result, the global gaming population is greatly expanded. But there are some now who believe the audience expansion movement is beginning to fade. Recently, we have been continuously conducting our own research around the world to find out what's happening. Nintendo divides the population into three basic groups: those who actively play games, those who say they will never play, and those who might someday. Obviously, if the population of gamers is to grow further, it must come from this group of maybes. So, how many are there? In Japan, the United States, and 6 countries we measured in Europe, there are already more than 295 million people actively playing console or handheld video games. These people, of course, are big software purchasers. But at the same time, there are more than 149 million people in these territories who say they might be interested in getting involved. To put this another way, for every 2 people now playing, there's 1 more just waiting to jump into the game. Imagine the opportunity if the number of players was 50% larger than it is right now. As the data show, we still have a long way to go in expanding the gaming population. As a matter of fact, it is the ability to appeal to such new players that may decide the fate of entire platform. We have been able to erase the viewpoint that those who never played games in the past will also never play them in the future. And our next goal is to create individual titles which can actually satisfy every kind of game player, even though the range of experience and skill level within the gaming population is now much wider. This is a rather unprecedented challenge. Previously, the best games were always considered those that require the most advanced skills. However, this kind of assumption concerns me. In the world of entertainment, making it harder for newcomers to join is a dangerous strategy. Always raising the bar on the necessary skills for players means that the number of people who feel like getting started with games must necessarily decrease. But on the other hand, if we simply lower the bar, we won't satisfy highly skilled players. And I am also troubled by the imaginary wall that is built higher and higher between what is considered an experienced player and a novice, between the veterans and the newcomers. After all, every one of us was a new player at one time. No one was born an expert gamer. Maybe we began on Space Invader or Pong or Donkey Kong. These were all immensely popular, but at the same time, intuitive enough to be enjoyed by everyone.